Welcome to Play on Words, a theatrical podcast. Please turn off all outside distractions so as not to disturb the performance. Tonight's production, the Pittsburgh Monologue Project, performed by the Duquesne University Red Masquers, and hosted by Play on Words. For the best audio experience, we recommend using headphones for tonight's performance. Good show, everybody. Good show.
Grandma started getting a little crazy. I mean, she's old. She probably had, Alzheimer's or whatnot. It happens. But every once in a while, you notice just something a little off about her, She'd call you the wrong name, or she just starts talking to you like it's the middle of this conversation you didn't even know you'd be having with her. Stuff like that. The thing is, in the Klaus family, when there's food on the table, you eat what's in front of you. Grandma was big on that. She lived through the Depression. She lived through the war. So if she wasn't saying, finish your peas, then my dad was saying it for her. So one day, she just starts cooking. She goes in the kitchen, takes out one of those big pots, the kind of used for chili, and she just starts putting stuff in there. And I mean everything. First she puts in lettuce, then onions and garlic and peppers, and then she puts in eggs, but the whole egg, with the shells in it. And she puts in orange peels and sales receipts and shit that you shouldn't even put in a stew. It's not even edible. And I'm in the kitchen watching this, and I'm like, hey Grandma, you doing some cooking? And she says, yeah, I'm doing some cooking. So I says, so what are you making there? And she says, I don't know. So pretty soon there's this horrible smell, because she didn't put any water or oil or nothing in the pot. So everything's more or less burning, and the whole family is just getting kind of nervous, But my dad, he didn't try to stop her. He just told us, set the table like normal, and whenever Grandma was good and ready, he picks up this pot, sets it on a table, we all sit down, and my dad, well, he's a Klaus, and if there's food on the table, you eat it. So he takes his ladle, scoops out some of this, stew, and puts it on his plate, and everybody's looking at him. Is he really gonna? And my dad takes his deep breath. He takes some on his spoon, and he eats it. He eats a full bite. And he's just chewing for a little bit. He's trying not to show you how totally disgusting this food is. Because it's Grandma's, And he says, it's alright. Needs ketchup. I mean, I don't think he finished it. I don't think anybody could. I think somebody probably hit it eventually, but after that, well, we just couldn't take care of Grandma the way we used to. Grandma loves to cook. And who is gonna knock your grandma's cooking after she worked so hard to make you something,
You hear about that news in the paper? What news? The hell are you talking about, what news? It's about Tommy Maddox. Yeah, that's right. Damn football players. Can't believe he's pulling out about his contract. He was selling insurance 2 years ago. And I know what them football players make, especially the quarterbacks like Tommy. And my brother-in-law, he sells insurance. Oh yeah, he's a real jagoff. But anyway, he don't make no money like Tommy makes. Tommy should pay Cordell to have a little fun in Shenley Park, that's what I'm talking about. Tommy makes $750,000 a year. $750,000? Poor Tommy. I think we should have a food drive. We should clip some coupons so Tommy and his family can eat. $750,000? Oh man, it's gotta be rough when you make that little. How do you pay your bills? Man, if I was the quarterback for the Steelers, you wouldn't have to pay me no $750,000. I'd do anything not to be a jagoff like my brother-in-law. Man, that guy's a prick. Tommy too. If you gave me food, a roof over my head, and beer, I'd be fine. Wouldn't even need to pay me. Maybe a couple $100 a week to go down to Silky's or whatever. But I bet them girls would strip for free if I was quarterback for the Steelers. Terry Bradshaw probably had to work an off-season to pay his bills. Now that's a quarterback. Guy led us to 4 Super Bowls. 1 for the thumb, baby. Now he'd be worth $750,000.
I don't know, man. Did you ever wonder what it's all for? I mean, I'm working so hard. I'm doing codes. I'm doing everything I can. And I sit at that computer in the engineering building and I study for the test. And I'm working like 60 hours a week. I go into the building just before dawn and I take classes and I code and when I leave, it's dark. It's already sunset. And I'm like, where the fuck did my day go? And everybody's heard this all before. It's no news to anybody. This is what everybody goes through, and I thought I could hack it. But I'm a freshman, man. I'm in my prime years, and I'm sitting at a computer like my dad always does, and I don't have time for anything. I'm so exhausted. I can't go out. I don't have any friends. You know who my friends are? They're other engineers. I mean, you're my friend, right? And you're not an engineer? But everybody else, everybody I talk with, it's about the midterm coming up, and then the final coming up, and then the density of fucking recycled steel, or the air pressure inside a room at a certain elevation, or whatever. But there was this one time, we found this old computer. It was like an Apple II, you know? A dinosaur doesn't even cover it. Just so old, you couldn't even carbon date it. One of those computers that doesn't even have a hard drive. You need one of those old-fashioned floppies just to turn it on. We found it in the stairwell. Just somebody decided to throw it away, because what are you even going to use that for? And it was like Office Space. We all love that movie. Every engineer loves that movie. Everybody in the world should love that movie. We picked it up and we carried it to the top floor. We didn't want to take the elevator, because there are probably security cameras in there. So we went to one of the corners of the building to this window, which overlooks the alley, right? And we pulled open the window and hung the monitor out, and whoosh. We just dropped it, man. 8 stories to the ground, bam! It just blew the fuck up. Pieces all over the place. Circuit boards and glass all over the pavement. We just started laughing and laughing. And we took the hard drive part of it, or not the hard drive, but the other part, you know? And we just dropped that too. Bam! It just exploded all over the place. And then we ran. We ran so fast, and we're just laughing so hard, my stomach hurt for days. Sometimes you just gotta break things, you know?
No, man! People always say that. They say that digital music doesn't sound as good as a record, or as authentic, or whatever. They've been saying that, and they're wrong. Like, whatever's on your computer is just as good as a CD, and a CD is better than a record. Like, you think that's not digital music on a CD? You think they put pixie dust and moonbeams on it? No, it's digital. Everyone that says that digital music is an inferior medium just hates change. Like, I bet they said that a tape didn't sound as good as an 8-track. An 8-track didn't sound as good as a record didn't sound as good as a phonograph, or whatever Edison came up with. Look, the point is, I bet that at some point, people thought sheet music was lazy. Like, why write it down? Like, you should know it. I bet that at some point, people were like, grunting and banging rocks is like way better than singing. Grunting and banging rocks is like totally like more authentic. The jukebox here is bullshit. It's country music, rap, and the best of Bowie. That's it. When I open up my bar, I'm going to unleash my digital library on everyone that comes in, and it is going to blow their freaking minds. I have 27,000 songs in my iTunes library, and it's not like I have several versions of one song, or I have duplicates because one song was on several different albums. No. It's all about diversity. All 27,000 of those songs mean something. It means something to me, and I'm gonna make it mean something to everyone else. I'm going to create playlists. I'm going to do compilations, and some days, to mix it up, I'm going to just let the Genius playlist pick something out. It's all good stuff, right? Like, who cares if it's 25 songs from one genre or one subset? I think people would dig the sameness of it, just like they dig the variety. Plus, which, if they don't like the music, they can just leave. I don't want someone in my place that doesn't appreciate a fine music library when they experience it. I mean, I guess I'm a little territorial when it comes to music. Like, you see that jukebox over there? You know what one song you won't find, even if you look on the internet? Mountain Jam. I figured you wouldn't know what it was. It's a live recording of a totally improvised instrumental jam that the Allman Brothers did in the late 60s. It's the seminal jam of the late 60s. Maybe even the entire decade of the 1960s. It's beautiful, and it's poetic, and it's 34 minutes long. Like, there's a version I heard that's 59 minutes long, but the 34-minute one is the one that used to be in the jukeboxes. So let's roleplay this and say, you're in this bar, and someone plays another fucking Tim McGraw song, and you've had enough, you're done. You used to be able to find Mountain Jam, pay an extra credit to download it, then pay an extra 2 credits to make it the next song up. Then you could spend the next 34 minutes free from the shackles of country music and just be and listen to the jam. You know, my friends and I, we used to do that all the time. I guess a lot of people did that because Mountain Jam got banned from the jukeboxes because the man doesn't want you to jam out. We're all at the mercy of these slack-jawed yinsers and their Kid Rock obsession now. We have no weapon, no way to protect ourselves. We have no Mountain Jam. At my place, I'll play it once a day, every day, at some point during the day. We'll take back the power of Mountain Jam, if only in one little corner of the world. My corner of the world.
This has been the Pittsburgh Monologue Project by Robert Isenberg and Brad Keller. Directed by Justin Sines. Assistant direction by Colleen Hammond. Sound design by Anthony Del Grosso and Dannon Johnson. Technical direction by Mackenzie Martin. Featuring the voices of Susie Benton in Grandma, Jarrett Klunk in Greatest Job Ever, Matthew Dudley in Engineer with a Razor, Victoria Kapfer in Mountain Jam. Play on Words is produced by Soren Deniz. Thank you for listening and for continuing to support the arts.
Good show, everybody.
Good show.